So let's look at how we could use relative polar entry to draw something that would be at an angle. I'm going to start a line command, and I'm going to specify the first point. I'm going to be 4 on the x, comma 2 on the y, and this is an absolute value to start with. Now I want to draw a line that's going to be 2 inches long and be at a 45-degree angle. So to do that, I'm going to say relative to the point that I'm at right now. I want my distance to be 2, so I enter that from the keyboard, and then I use the less than symbol, which means angle of, and remember that the open side of that symbol always is towards the angle. In this case, the angle is going to be 45. I don't have to put any other symbols in, just the number for the angle, and hit enter on the keyboard. And now I've drawn a line at 45 degrees 2 inches long, and I'm going to end that. Now I'm going to draw a little square here, so that means that my line's going to have to go off at an angle that would be perpendicular to this current line. Because my angles are always absolute to my compass, let's just take a look. I'm going to move my compass over here to the end of this line so we can figure out what the angle should be. If this is 0, if I want my line to be going this way, I would be at 90 plus another 45 degrees. So 90 plus 45 would be 135 degrees. So I would get a line command started from this end point, and here I would say I want a distance of 2. Oops, I have to put in an at to let AutoCAD know that I want to be relative. A distance of 2, angle of 135, and I have that perpendicular to my last line. Let's move my compass over to this point and we'll calculate what the angle should be on a relative polar entry here. I'll get my line, and I'm going to start here. We'll say at a distance of 2, angle of, if this is 0, this is 90, 180 plus 45 would be 225 degrees. Now I want to go back to this point. Let me move my compass over and we'll look at it again. In this case, I'm going to start my line here. We'll say at 2, angle of, and this would be 90, 180, 270 plus 45 more, which would be 315 degrees, and that brings me back to my starting point. So remember, when we're using relative polar, we are using the angles that are absolute to our default polar system. Now we were using all positive angles. I'm going to erase this angle, and we'll look at how we could do that by moving counterclockwise. I'll go here, I'll say at 2, angle of, and I'm going to measure going clockwise this way. I know that I need to go 45 degrees clockwise, so I enter a negative 45 as my angle, and that's the same as 315 on my positive value.